right? So with Z, I ain't got a clue. I mean, any suggestions, again, stick them in the bottom because we've run out of things to say now. But what we're going to go with, Z, we're going to go with zoo creatures, which unfortunately now with it being a little bit cold, we're well past the time of catching them carp. But I want to go back to my thinking. I mean, this year, yet again, has been a year of catching a lot of carp-based sort of matches, fishing for really, really, really big fish. Some massive fish at Larford and Barston this year. But it's still my thinking of actually fishing for these massive fish. It's never changed in that I feel when you're approaching the frightening, the big 10 and 15, 20 pound fish, people still fish far, far too heavy for them. And it ends up in disaster, in breakage, in lost fish, in who knows what. And so this year, again, for me, it's been about understanding how to land these fish, but with light tackling, how it makes them behave. I mean, I'm still a big advocate of using tackle that controls the fish. You know what I mean? My usual setup would be the yellow slick, which I think is rated about 14 to 16. So it's still some proper kit, but again, going to slick a little bit, it probably allows me to play fish in a different manner because it's so forgiving with these big fish. Well, I think the last thing you want to do is to strike, upset them, they race out into the lake and they're virtually unstoppable. I mean, if you've got pole equipment on, then something's going to go. Either your elastic, your line, or hopefully not, but your pole is the next thing that's going to break. So using different elastics, using lighter elastics like the slick that allows me to, it's got plenty of stretch in it. When I'm fishing for the great big fish in the edge especially, it allows me to hook a fish, ship back really, really quickly without putting too much pressure on the fish and get to my top gate as quickly as possible, which I think that's the key move you need to make as long as you're not fishing too far, is get into that top gate. And as long as you've only got a top gate in your hand, and as long as you angle it in the correct manner, then there's no chance of that fish racing off into the lake and exploding things. I mean, you barely, now and again it might do your hook length if it's foul hooked, but it limits the chance of any number 4s, number 5s breaking. And ultimately, yeah, this year's definitely taught me that by getting in control of those fish really quickly, getting them back, I've been landing fish a lot quicker, sort of by bossing them, but with lighter elastic. I mean, by using a 14 to 16 or even a 12 to 14 in many cases. So I'm getting the uphand on them big fish and sort of bundling them into their net almost by surprise and landing them far quicker than I've ever landed fish before.